May I request Dr. Maitri Goswami from Vallabhacharya Vidyapeeth from Gujarat to present her paper. Thank you. She is speaking on Sakar Brahmavaad as per Vallabhacharya.
Yeah. Namaste everyone. Jai Shri Krishna. My topic for today's talk is Sakar Brahmavaad as per the philosophy propagated by Mahaprabhu Sri Vallabhacharya. Though his philosophy is well known as Shuddhadvaita Brahmavad, but I personally, after the brief study of all his treatises and being his direct descendant fortunately, I would like to coin Sakara Brahmavad as a better term for identifying his philosophy. Though philosophical discussions have been controversial, there have been differences between all the acharyas and philosophers, but all the bhakti sampradayas and their acharyas are unanimous on the stand that each and every mindful quest for understanding the tattva is ultimately for the sake of devotional practice. So with that same perspective, even Mahaprabhu Sri Vallabhacharya promoted his philosophy by saying that Shastram avagatya manovak dehai Krishna sevyaha. So understand the Shastra, understand the transcendental form of the tattva, love him and understand his beauty and infinity through the Upanishadic philosophies. So today I am here for presenting his stand, which complements the devotional practice for the sake of devotee, and that is Sakara Brahmavad. The term Sakara and Nirakar, they both stand as opposite terms though, because the Tattva or the Brahma has been defined in both the ways in the Shastras, and Mahaprabhu Sri Vallabhacharya has a different perspective for explaining his Sakarata. Though the most common interpretation of Sakarata is that Brahma is Krishna and Krishna is Brahma. And the way Sri Vasudeva-Swami said that Brahma, Paramatma and Bhagavan, they are considered to be the three perspectives of the same tattva, the way it has been explained in Srimad Bhagavat, Brahmeti Bhagavaniti Paramatmeti Shabdyate. So though this is the most well-known aspect of Sakarata, but in other way being all-encompassing and comprehensive with each and every Shastric text, Mahaprabhu has in a very distinguished way explained Sakarata. For explaining the Vedic aspect of Sakarata, he says that Yagya Rupo Harihi Purva Kande Brahma Tanuhu Pare Avatari Harihi Krishna Sri Bhagavata Miryate. So in the form of a Yagya, he has been explained in the Purvakand of Ved. In the form of a Gyeya Tattva as Brahma, the same element has been explained in Uttarkand, the Upanishads. And in the form of Hari, Sri Krishna, who is Avatar and Avatari both, he has been explained in Srimad Bhagavat. So the Karma, Gyan and Bhakti, which are the three distinguished paths for attaining salvation or for the attainment of ultimate fruits, they have been differentiated on this ground, but through this statement Mahaprabhu is trying to get all these three methods on the same platform. That if a person is able to realize that through Yagya he is being worshipped, through the form of Brahma he is being known, and in the form of Bhagavan Shri Krishna as explained in Srimad Bhagavat, he is being used as an object of devotion. So in that way, Sakarata can be understood with these three perspectives as well. Secondly, from the aspect of Puran and the Tantric methods of puja and worships, he says that Suryadi Rupadrak Brahma Kande Gyananga Miryate Puraneshwapi Sarveshu Tattadrupo Haristatha. So he says that the Pancha Devat Upasana, which is prevailing in Tantra Shastras. So in the form of Surya, in the form of Shiv, in the form of Shakti, Ganpati and Vishnu, all these five forms, he is being worshipped through his different Shaktis, through his different perspectives, and that same person is glorified in each and every Puran because Bhagavan himself manifests into each and every form, including all the Devatas, including all the mortal and immortal mortal and immortal forms, and each and every Nam, Roop and Karma of this universe. Now, what is the ultimate usage of this sort of understanding? For that he says that bhajanam sarva rupeshu falasiddhai tathapitu adi murtihi krishna eva sevyah sayujya kammeya. So he says that though he can be worshipped, he can be perceived, he can be manifested in each and every form with his free will, with his unpurposeful desire, which is known as Leela, for which he coins the term that this universe is for the sake of Leela. It is a haituki nishprayojanika krida of Bhagavan. So in each and every form, he conceives his forms for the sake of different type of people who are eligible for different type of worships. But ultimately, if you want to attain Parabrahma, who is the transcendental form himself, in that case, Adi Murtihi Krishna should be worshipped. So what I wanted to say is that he is not negating any other path, any other method, and he is not even considering up and downs within the forms of Bhagavan, because a devotee is the person who could appreciate each and every manifestation, each and every act, each and every desire and form of Bhagavan. So for the sake of appreciating Bhagavan, whom we are asked to worship, in that case, Sakara Brahmavaad should be used so that Bhagavan Shri Krishna with all his perspectives could be understood. He could be appreciated in all the ways for the sake of devotees, and ultimately that understanding of Sakara Brahmavaad should culminate in the form of selfless devotion towards Bhagavan, which is known as Pushti Bhakti. So this equation of Sakara Brahmavaad has been explained as Swabhavik Advait and Aichik Advait. I am immensely thankful to Raviji that he gave a strong backup to me by explaining all these terms, so I don't need to get into the details of these things. But the nature of Advaita, as per Vallabh is Swabhavik. It means everything is directly affiliated with Bhagavan, and the Dvaita which he creates is because of his independent desire, because of his own will, and that Ichha of Brahman is known as his Leela. And that's why it is Sakara Brahmavaad plus Leelartha Srishtivad, which would ultimately explain the philosophical understanding of Mahaprabhu Shri Vallabhacharya. So with that sportfulness in our mind that we have been created for his Leela, we are a mere participant in his Leela. He is playing in the form of each and every manifestation within all the beings who have been created for fulfilling their duties as per their eligibilities, and there the people who are able to realize themselves being a devotee of Bhagavan, themselves as the ultimate form of Bhagavan, they would be able to serve the ultimate form of Bhagavan, and others would be worshipping the different forms which have been manifested with his different Shakti Rupas. So this is what, in nutshell, Sakara Brahmavaad and Leelartha Srishtivad is. And that's why Mahaprabhu says that the Pushti, the term Pushti stands for Poshanam Tadanugraha from Srimad Bhagavat. And the way Srimad Bhagavat is explaining the Poshana Leela, it stands in many different ways in which the most basic nature of Poshan is that in which Bhagavan is taking care of each and every creation, each and everything which has been created. Secondly, he is personally being involved with the people who are serving the Shastras, who are following the Shastric methods. And thirdly, he is most immensely affiliated with the beings who consider him to be the most superior form, being a Pushti devotee. So those who are able to realize their form as a Pushti devotee, those who are able to know themselves as the chosen beings who are meant for the sake of devotion, they don't indulge into other modes of worship or methods, and they try to worship the transcendental form of Bhagavan Shri Krishna as per his statement, Adi Murtihi Krishna eva sevyah sayujya kammeya. So this is how he explains that Sakara Brahmavaad should necessarily be affiliated with the devotional practice. If this understanding of Shastras don't ultimately conclude into the devotional practice, in that case he says that I would like to choose myself being a Mayavadi. I would like to explain any sort of Advait if that understanding doesn't culminate into Bhakti. So Bhakti and the understanding of Advait, the philosophy, they both are necessarily complementary to each other, and that's why not any sort of mindful quest should result into any other path. Rather, it should conclude into the path of devotion. Thank you very much.
Wonderful paper and very innovative. You know, as you preferred Sakar Brahmavaad in the place of Shuddha Advait. There is no contradiction as such, but of course this is a very new understanding of the things, and this is the kind of contribution we expect from the scholars. Thank you very much. And probably the last speaker.